Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. Here is the Z107.7 local news for Monday, February 20th, 2023. CalFresh emergency allotments will end on February 28th. The allotments, which provided additional money for food to each household eligible for CalFresh benefits, were increased in response to the COVID-19 pandemic in March 2020. As California concludes its state of emergency related to the pandemic on February 28th, many programs funded through emergency authorization will conclude as well. CalFresh recipients will continue to receive their regular benefits after their final emergency allotment is issued in March. CalFresh members may inform the state if their circumstances have changed since 2020, for example, medical expenses, shelter deductions, dependent care costs, and changes in employment and income by signing in to Benefits Cal. There is a new phone scam being reported here in the Morongo Basin. The thieves are posing as agents from the Federal Bureau of Investigation and are convincing victims that they owe money to the federal government. Robert Hayden joins us with this warning.
The sheriff reports that a local resident was recently scammed out of $3,000 by someone who called them posing as federal agents and telling the person that they were under investigation. Phone scammers have long targeted the elderly and other vulnerable populations by relying on their goodwill. Usually they pose as a family member or loved one who needs financial help, or in this case, as a government authority saying that the victim owes them money, using fear of prosecution to get the victim to transfer cash to settle the fake debt. Z107.7 reminds you to never transfer money to a strange financial account, whether it be a physical bank, PayPal, Venmo, or something else. If someone is asking you for money or personal information, such as your EBT card number, consult a family member or friend before making any transaction. Many of the methods scammers use to receive the money aren't reversible, and scammers will put pressure on you to act quickly. It's always better to wait and investigate the request than to immediately send money without doing due diligence. As we head into tax season, it's reasonable to assume that the frequency of these calls will increase, with the scammers posing as government officials and even saying that the victims have broken a law. If you or someone you know is being targeted by these scam phone calls, the best thing you can do is hang up and contact law enforcement. You can see this story at our website for other scams that have been reported by Morongo Basin residents, along with a link on how to keep your vulnerable family members informed of these scams. Reporting for Z107.7 News, this is Robert Hayden.
If you hear loud explosions, booms, or rumbles in the high desert, they are very likely emanating from the Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center. This is the final stretch of the Marine Corps Sound Advisory, which was issued in January and in place until next Tuesday, February 28th. The advisory says that there will be an increase in the military training noises that are infrequent but familiar to residents of the Morongo Basin. The Sound Advisory is related to a large-scale training event known as a service-level training exercise, which is designed to train Marines and participating joint forces to deliver rapid responses on a global scale. For more information about this and other training exercises, visit a link in this story at Z107.7fm.com. The 29 Palms Cemetery District Board of Trustees meets in regular session tomorrow afternoon. The board is expected to receive reports from the general manager regarding cemetery operations and financial data. They will also consider adding an additional groundskeeper position. This meeting is open to the public and comments are welcome. The meeting begins at 4:30 p.m. tomorrow at 5350 Encina Avenue in 29 Palms. The next 4 Wednesdays are a great opportunity to get out and experience Wonder Valley and some locally made films inspired by the wild and wonderful desert community located just east of Yucca Valley, Joshua Tree, and 29 Palms. Robert Hayden rejoins us with the program for this festival.
The Wonder Valley Film Festival will begin screening movies this Wednesday at the Palms Restaurant in Wonder Valley. The festival features films that are by residents or use Wonder Valley as a setting, and each show will have a Q&A session afterward with the filmmakers. The doors open at 6:30 and the screenings begin at 7 o'clock sharp. The film festival will continue for 4 Wednesdays, starting with February 22nd's premiere night. You can see this story at our website for a link to the Facebook event. Reporting for Z107.7 News, this is Robert Hayden.
And finally, registration for the Highway 62 Open Studio Art Tours has officially opened. The beloved annual event, which has been a high desert mainstay for more than 20 years, is a guided tour of local artists' studios in our area. Not just confined to 29 Palms Highway, artists living from Morongo Valley to Wonder Valley to Landers and everywhere in between are invited to participate. By signing up, artists will be featured in the tour, along with its map, app, and guidebook, in addition to being featured in a group show. All artists living and working in the Morongo Basin are invited to apply for this event, which will be held during the first 3 weekends in October. Organized by the Morongo Basin Cultural Arts Council, this incredible event is one of the best showcases of the desert's local talent and serves as a foundational sales opportunity for working artists. Registration is open until March 31st. To register for the Highway 62 Open Studio Art Tours, visit a link in this story at Z107.7fm.com. Registration is open until March 31st. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. More Morongo Basin residents get their local news from Z107.7 than any other source. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm Jeff Harmetz.